Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to show you how to make a delicious and easy Central and Eastern European comfort food known as pierogi. This is essentially a dumpling and we're going to fill ours with potato, cheese and onion. We begin by making our filling. We start by peeling 4 potatoes and just roughly chopping them before adding them to some boiling water with a pinch of salt. We're going to boil these until they are soft and the knife can easily go through them. Then in a separate pan, we're going to slowly caramelise 1 thinly sliced onion with some butter. This is going to take a while, so just keep an eye on them, stirring occasionally until the onions have gained a brown colour. We then begin to make our dough by combining 100 ml of Coles water and 1 egg and 1 egg yolk, mixing thoroughly. Then in a large mixing bowl, we combine 300 grams of flour and 7 grams of salt before adding our water and egg mixture and combining with a fork. We use the fork until a rough ball has formed and then begin to knead. Once a smooth ball has formed, we're going to set it aside to let it rest for around 10 to 15 minutes. As this is not a yeasted dough, it will not need time to rise. As the dough is resting, we're going to combine our drained potatoes with some grated cheese. The amount of cheese is optional and to your taste. We're going to mash this together using a potato masher before adding some black pepper to taste. We also add a small amount of butter, which is also mashed in, as well as then adding our caramelised onions and again mashing together. Once the mixture is done, we lightly flour a surface and roll out our dough until it is roughly 2 mm thick. We then use a mug to cut out our dumplings. However, you could also use a cake cutter or a glass. These will result in slightly big pierogies, so if you want a smaller one and have more of them, use a slightly smaller surface. We then take a large tablespoon of our mixture and place it onto our cut out dough. We're going to fold over the edges and combine them together to make a pasty shape dumpling. The easiest way I've found to do this is to just gradually push down the potato as you are closing the edges together. This could take some time getting used to, so if you struggle with trying to fit this in, just use less of the mixture and it will be easier to fold the edges together. Once each dumpling is done, I place them onto a baking paper lined baking sheet, which makes it easier to freeze them until they are solid and then they can be transferred into a plastic bag for easier storage. However, you can also eat these straight away, so I took 3 of them and put them into boiling water and boiled them until they rose to the surface. This usually takes a couple of minutes. We then add them to a frying pan with some melted butter, and then we will fry them on a medium to medium low heat until both sides have gained a crispy texture. However, this is also optional and they can be eaten straight after boiling. I would use the same method of cooking them if the dumplings were frozen. The boiling step will just take slightly longer and the frying part will take the exact same amount of time. I like to eat mine with a side of sriracha mayo, however traditionally they are served with sour cream and onions. These are delicious and very easy to make. However, they may be slightly time intensive, but I would encourage everybody to still make these. I'd make a lot of these at university, as for a few pound I'd be able to make dozens of these, and then I would always have a delicious lunch waiting in the freezer. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, and check our social medias in the description below.